In this video, we'll be talking about the dark truth behind perfection. And to guide this conversation, we are going to be focusing in on the character Isabela Madrigal from the Disney animated film Encanto. Aloha, beautiful souls! My name is Ryan of Transolution, and I'm here to assist you on your spiritual journey of deep transformation and self discovery. Now, I don't know about you, but since I was young, I have always enjoyed a good story. I loved reading fiction novels, comic books even, I love me some Marvel, and I loved even reading fables from different countries from all around the world. You see, stories have the power to evoke a lot of emotions: happiness, grief, sadness, excitement, thrill, all those powerful emotions. Inspiration, even, right? And that's just one of the reasons why I enjoy reading stories so much. Now, not only are stories super entertaining, but what's so awesome about stories as well is because they teach us a little bit about how the world works. It teaches us about other people's perspectives, other ways of living, other opinions. So let's talk stories, loves, and expand our awareness. So in this video, we are focusing on the character Isabela Madrigal from the Disney animated film Encanto. Have you seen that movie? I initially actually kind of underrated it at first, but then I watched it and I have such a big appreciation for it now. And for those of you who haven't watched the movie, no worries. You can always come back if you don't want any spoilers. Or if you have no intention of watching the movie, no big deal, because we are just using Isabel Madrigal as a guide for our conversation on the dark truths behind perfection. The Madrigals are a family in Colombia who, after running away and escaping their home village because of some robbers, looters, something like that, they gained magical powers and a magical house. And each member of the Madrigal family, aside from the main character, Maribel, has a special power. I mean, how cool is that? Well, maybe unless you're Maribel. So, Isabela, the topic of this video, is one of Maribel's older sisters. And her power is to make flowers bloom out of nowhere. I know, maybe a little bit anticlimactic if you're like me, because in my opinion, that isn't necessarily the coolest power I've ever seen anyone have, but it plays a key role in explaining her story and this discussion we're having on the topic of perfection. So just what is the deal with Isabela and what does she have to teach us? Isabela is the stereotype of the beautiful sister. She has wonderful skin, a beautiful figure and body, long, dark, straight hair. I mean, do you guys know the type of person I'm describing here? That classic person that's like, oh, she's the pretty one. She's the pretty sister, right? Like, I mean, we've all kind of come to that conclusion and bought into those categories of people at one time or another. So basically, she epitomizes like mainstream society of what is beautiful, what is pretty. Now, in contrast, although not the focus of this video, the other older sister, Luisa, is like the strength. She's like this Hulk of a woman who has super strength, right? So between the two of them, we have this sort of like categorization of beauty and brawn, right? I don't know if you have familiar with that distinction. Isabela's like physical, natural beauty is, of course, reflected in this ability to make flowers. These beautiful, colorful, flawless flowers that appear out of nowhere and kind of brighten everybody's day. And like, so what can be more beautiful than beautiful people creating beautiful things, right? It's like this double serving of beauty. And it gains a lot of like love and adoration from the people around her. So because of Isabela's beauty and her ability to create these beautiful flowers, people associate her with perfection. Have you ever seen this before? Like beautiful people, beautiful things being equated with being perfect. I mean, it's as if beauty was the only criteria for perfection, right? But just like so many other cases before, there is something darker beneath the surface of Isabella's so called perfection. So, because of this perception that Isabela is perfect and can do no wrong, she has this pressure to live up to those expectations. I mean, come on now. Have you ever felt that way before? So instead of being able to be herself, flaws and all, she has to continue to live up to the standards of other people. Those standards that other people have put upon her based solely on her looks. So there's this pressure within her to be what everybody else wants her to be and to live up to those standards. And if she doesn't, there's this fear that she will be judged or cast out or shamed for not being this perfect being that everybody thinks she is. And kind of a subplot in the story is that because she's like so perfect and beautiful, her family wants her to marry this also perfectly beautiful man, or handsome man if you like that word instead, and she just wants to go along with it because, again, she doesn't want to tarnish this vision of perfection that other people have placed on her. Thankfully, some of this tension gets released when she interacts with her younger sister Maribel, the one without the powers. And so with this pivotal interaction with Maribel, which naturally, being a Disney movie, is accompanied by a wonderful song, she is able to open up and release these things that are bottled up within her. And so the way that this takes form is, instead of creating this beautiful flower like a rose or a tulip or whatever, like when she kind of is honest with herself and expresses herself, instead of this beautiful this beautiful flower popping up, it's a little cactus, complete with thorns, completely asymmetrical, and not many people consider cacti to be super attractive. And during this song, she continues to express who she truly is and release a lot of this pressure and create all these other, what may classically be deemed as ugly plants, like these vines and these plants with thorns, these carnivorous plants, more cacti. But in creating these things that aren't perfect, she feels this sense of freedom, of release, of authenticity. So what does this have to teach us? What does this say about the notion of perfection? Well, I have a couple of things for you, and I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are as well. So please feel free to drop them in the comments down below. But what I see is that perfection, honestly, perfection isn't really a thing. It's not something that we obtain. Perfection is this idea, this notion that we actually chase. And what's kind of awful about perfection is it's kind of like a moving target, right? If you ask anybody what perfect is, everyone is going to give you a different definition. And so if you are trying to be perfect yourself and you're going and you're basing your achievement of perfection on other people's definition, honestly, you're going to just get so confused. Have you ever had that experience before where you just don't know what to do, what is right, because there's so many different opinions around you telling you what they think is right, and you don't know which one to listen to? Some people say being skinny is perfect. Other people say that's actually unhealthy. Some people say that having fair skin and long, gorgeous hair and being wealthy are all, characteristics of perfection. And other people don't believe those things. So who is right? Who do we listen to? Well, when we subscribe to other people's version of perfection, what often and inevitably ends up happening is that we get into this realm of self-judgment and criticism because we can't always meet up to other people's standards of perfection. And that's the dark side of perfection. I don't know why I keep doing that. So, honestly, what is the key to winning this battle with perfection, if you want to categorize it as a battle? Well, the key is to define perfection for yourself, to make up your own rules for the game, if you will. Honestly, the person whose opinion you should be listening to and value the most is your own. Take a moment right now to do that. Take a moment out of your day to create a new definition, a more authentic definition of perfection. What does perfection look like to you? What does it feel like to you? And don't use any other people's criteria for perfection. Now, that's not the point of this exercise. Only use those things if you believe them at the very core of your being as well. Now, if I can share a little bit with you about my definition of perfection, maybe that might even help you. So for me, perfection is having that sense of fulfillment and joy. So for example, a perfect day can take on many different shapes and forms, but they all carry this one feeling in common, this sense of gratitude, this sense of joy, this sense of fulfillment. A perfect outfit or a perfect look is one in which I feel confident and I feel empowered. Long before I listen to anyone else's opinion on how my hair is, what my outfit and shirt, jeans, dress, whatever look like. So again, what does perfect mean to you? And let those things be the guide and the anchor to establishing your own self-worth and self-value. And release that idea and that need to chase other people's definitions of perfect and instead create your own rules. As we wrap up this video, let me share this one last quote from you that I recently learned from someone else. Expression over impression. And for me, what that means is that the key to living a happy and fulfilling life is to express yourself as the authentic version of you. Don't be the type of person that you think you need to be to impress other people. And definitely don't be that type of person that you think you need to be to please other people. So what do you think of that saying yourself? Expression over impression. Type that down in the comments below to kind of let that settle in your mind and let your consciousness and subconsciousness kind of work through that. And do make sure to share your thoughts and interpretations of that phrase as well. Learning together is a way we can all grow and expand our consciousness and awareness. If you got something out of this video today, please make sure to hit that like button. That would be very much appreciated. And if you want to continue receiving content just like this one, make sure to subscribe to my channel, Transform with Ryan. Hit that bell to turn the notifications on so you will be notified as soon as I post another video. Lastly, if you are on that pathway of redefining yourself and establishing new truths and a new path forward, I would love to connect with you. So please make sure to visit my website, www.transformwithryan.com. Until next time, loves, adios. Mwah.